What's going on? It's your boy Deuce Wayne.
What's good? What's good? What's good? It's Kyle McIntosh here. Big Merv in the building. You already know what's going on.
Yes, sir. And we're here for another edition. Season 4, man. Episode 3 of Season 4. 53. It's the one with the Squid Games. The name says it all. The title reveals all. We're going to be talking about the elite and memorable, viral, sensational series of Squid Games. You know, we don't really cover TV a lot, but we try to at least attack one or two prestige series per season. Last season, we did Breaking Bad. This season, we want to do Squid Games. Squid Games Season 2 just dropped, so it's relevant. Squid Games Season 3, hopefully, might come out this year. So if that happens, we can always come back to this episode, tap in with us to get the gems, the information, the Easter eggs, and all that. But, Merv, before we get into the episode, man, I feel like 2025, it just started, and already our world's going through some crazy stuff. Our condolences from Scenedms to the people, the families, everyone dealing with the damages that's happening right now on the West Coast and LA with the fires. Being from Canada, man, we never really had to deal with that kind of stuff. You know, we have our own type of natural disasters and issues that are possibilities for us up north here in Canada. But, man, when you hear about these wildfires and you see those videos, I'm like, this is crazy how this can, you know, how quickly it could spread. And again, a big shout out to the first responders, the firefighters out there that are putting their lives on the line and doing everything, to hold it down in the community. But it's a tough thing going on right now. They even had to delay the voting for the nominations, the reveals for the Oscars. They had to cancel, I think, the SAG Awards or one of those events. The Lakers game, they had to postpone 2 games. There's a lot going on right now. So, what are your thoughts on that that's happening with the disaster in LA?
Man, it's just devastating to see everything that's going on, and something as you know what I mean, not trivial, of course, but like as a fire that starts, you know what I mean, we never experience or see that kind of thing, like you said, in Canada, where it's like, you know what I mean, something catches fire and then everything around it catches fire like that. It's just insane how quickly, like, for them to even say that it's like 0% contained and everything like that. I'm like, yo, that's crazy that they can't even contain it. There's not enough water, not enough supplies. And it's just like crazy that people have to deal with that. And you know what I mean? Like, LA deals with a lot when it comes to earthquakes, obviously wildfires. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of natural disasters that kind of hit that area of North America and just, I mean, California in general. So it's insane, man. I actually know a firefighter that works out there, and he was telling me, like, bro, it's just, they've been working nonstop. And like, he's like, the houses that are gone are just insane. And it's crazy that they don't have enough, because he's always recruited me to become a firefighter out there, because he's like, yo, they make a lot of money. They get a lot of days off and things like that. But like, even to hear,
is that true? You know, because growing up, you always hear that. Or like, yo, they only get like 3 days out the week or whatever. That's
bro. Like, he told me, like, yeah, you're off for like, you're maybe on for 10 days, off 20 or something like that. It's like something outrageous. I don't know. Don't quote me though. Don't quote me.
Yeah.
But he told me something like that, and I was like, that's crazy, man. Like, that's insane. Like how what's happening out there right now. And he's like, even been posting videos on his story, just showing like how vicious the fires have been and everything that's going on with people. So like Dwayne said, man, just praying for everybody out there, praying for safety, praying that everybody's able to, I mean, salvage something, man. It's just crazy to hear people. I couldn't imagine that. Like, you know, I mean, everything that, you know, I mean, you grew up with, all the accolades, everything that you built together in a relationship and a life, and all that stuff just being going up in flames. And even for the people that, bro, it's not even about all the rich people, because everybody keeps saying it's, the rich people, they can buy new stuff. But sometimes, bro, like, there's certain things money can't buy, bro.
Of course.
Like, there's certain things that money cannot buy. And yeah, there's people have money, and maybe honestly, the people out there that was grandfathered in, you know what I mean? They just have a crib that, you know what I mean, their family had got it years ago, and it's been in their family for years, and bro, it's like, that's just insane to me that, like, all this stuff happening, bro. So like Dwayne said, man, just praying for everybody, hoping that everything goes well, and hopefully, and just pray for rain, that it just stops it, man, and heavy rain so that it stops it.
For sure. Well said. Well, before we talk about basketball, like we always do, because we're not just cinephiles, we're also basketball players as well. How you been, brother? How you been doing?
I mean, life's been life, fam. Hoping to get back to playing. playing on the court. You know what I mean? I've been working out. Everything's been feeling a lot better. So I've just been doing my job, man. Tonight is the only night I'll be staying up late because of the podcast. But I usually, as a New Year's kind of thing, have been going to bed a lot earlier. Been going to bed around like 10:30, waking up at 7 every morning. Man, just been locking in to, you know what I mean, just changing things so that I can, you know what I mean, I can change my life, you know what I mean? And things have been going well, so nothing to complain about, man. Life is life. How about you, though?
I'm straight, man. I'm good. Can't complain. Doing the same thing, man. Keeping my head down, trying to continue work, get better, trying to stay disciplined as well. I'm actually upset, man. My barber out here pushed my hairline back some ridiculous. So me and him have that talk. And
damn, it's looking crazy.
Always looking crazy.
You're not gonna show the fans?
No. I mean, it's in the stage of regrowth right now because I don't know.
Bro, that's you just grow your hair out, bro.
I don't know why you got creative.
Why don't you just grow your hair out, bro? I'm gonna tell you that now.
You know, my mother doesn't fail to remind me of how much I look like my father.
Moms, man. Didn't he cut his hair?
No. No. He's been having dreads for a minute, so...
I haven't seen him in a minute. I swear he cut his hair still.
Nah. So that's the number one reason as to why I'm not allowed.
Oh, so you're not trying to get your pops?
Yeah. I've been trying to grow my hair. Probably.
You look at, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Sicko does it. Oh, it's cool.
Bro, I'm just gonna let you know, bro. You look at your pops whether you have dreads or not, bro.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You're twins, so it doesn't matter. But nah, that hairline pushback is insane. So as you can see, Dwayne's wearing a crazy hat. So that's why you know he's not lying.
Speaking of the attire, we didn't plan this, but we're wearing the same Scenedms.
Honest to God, we didn't plan this. I'm being dead serious. We did not plan this. I literally just grabbed a random t-shirt out of the wash too, that I just washed.
I planned that. I'm not gonna lie. Like in terms of I knew I was gonna wear it today after practice, just because I haven't worn it in a minute. I love this style. It's obviously the Pineapple Express edition of Scenedms. I think it's season 2 merch.
Yep.
We got some more stuff coming, so be on the lookout for that. One of our favorite scenes here is when he's revealing the identity of the
Muhammad. Why would you go? Why you go with Muhammad? Just so you know, he said, Muhammad is actually one of the most used names.
What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What are you trying to be, an Irish R&B singer?
Oh, they let you pick any name you want when you get down there.
And you landed on McLovin.
Yeah, I was between that and Muhammad.
Why the fuck would it be between that or Muhammad? Why don't you just pick a common name like a normal person?
Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a fucking book for once.
Fogel, have you ever actually met anyone named Muhammad?
Have you actually ever met anyone named McLovin?
No, that's why you picked a dumb fucking name.
Man, that's a great scene. All right. But man, I know you've been keeping up with some of the current stuff that's happening right now in the NBA. But first, let's talk about this. Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat, man. It feels like it's a common story just because we've seen him work his way out of Chicago. We've seen him work his way out of Minnesota. We've seen him work his way out of Philadelphia. So do you think this is a common thread? And I don't know if it's right to say who's in the right or wrong because honestly, we don't know the ins and outs of the details. What I do know is that Jimmy Butler was unable to sign an extension, right? That he wanted to sign, I think it was a 2-year, $113 million extension. And Miami Heat refused. And he felt offended. And I'm not gonna lie, if I'm Jimmy Butler, I feel him, bro. Like, I think he's been playing with them for 4 years, and in the 4 seasons he's played, he's brought them to 2 finals. Like, who would have thought? In my opinion, he's overachieved playing for the Miami Heat. Like, respectfully, with the roster they have, it's like, who would have thought they would have went to the finals twice? So it's one of those things where it's like he's already making a lot of money. I'm pretty sure he's guaranteed $55 million this year or something like that. But at the same time, it's like still paid him. But I understand the business of it because he's 35. So it's like Pat Riley. And the thing about Pat Riley is, one, I think he has to learn how to change with the current times as a president or GM or whatever owner. He's been around for so long. I feel like he's probably like, yo, it's my way or the highway on some Phil Jackson stuff. Remember when Phil Jackson was with the Knicks? Yeah. And he butt heads with everybody when he was like a president. It's like, this doesn't make sense. And I just feel like maybe because he couldn't adapt. When it comes to Pat Riley, we know he's never signed extensions for certain players. Like him and D Wade fell out. And D Wade is like Mr. Miami.
D Wade is all Miami.
Right. And they made up. But that was about that. That's why Dwayne Wade, remember?
He dipped to go to Chicago.
Wade's on Chicago? What? Wait, Wade's on Cleveland Cavaliers with Braun. Nah, what's going on, bro? It's not real. Like, what's happening? And then he finally came back home and things were right. But So I'm just speaking for the defense of Pat Riley. It's like that's maybe not his principles. Like he doesn't like agree in like re-signing older players. But yeah, what's your thoughts behind that, man? Like, what do you think's gonna happen? Because they suspended him for 7 games, fam. Like I've never seen that.
3.2 mil.
Like his man got suspended, and all he did was express himself. I don't think he's being disrespectful. It's like,
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. The man was wilding still.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on the reports that I've been seeing, he was like not showing up to shoot rounds. He was asking to be like fly private, like outside of the team and stuff like that. And like, bro, if you saw like the game right before they suspended him, he shot a one-legged 3 in the corner, and I said, oh yeah, he's trying to get up out of there. And I mean, he has every right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he has every right to feel the way he does. Especially his father passed away.
Yeah, I saw that
last year.
They still expect him to play.
And they still expect him to play and stuff like that. So I think that it's a tough situation, man. I don't know where he'll land for sure. But it is a tough situation. I think Pat Riley is just Pat Riley, man. You got to know that's Heat culture. And I also saw that Jimmy was actually pretty upset about the lack of support.
Okay.
They were signing guys that like were irrelevant to like what the team could build. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he was thinking that like why? Well, why don't we just like? I mean, they like Boston got Porzingis, like Philly. I mean, not Philly. Bucks got Dame, and he's like, yo, what did we get? You know what I mean? Like. We got like Thomas Bryant, who's on Indiana now, and people like that. Like, come on, like from what the reports. So I don't know. It's a tough situation, man. But you know the NBA, man. Everybody feels some type of way, and you gotta respect it. You gotta respect that what he wants, and if you can't provide that for him, which it doesn't seem like they can, then it's fair. Like it's fair for him to feel some type of way. So
makes sense.
But yeah.
Luka, man. Luka's been hurt for a minute. He has like I think a strain in his calf or something going on there. You saw him on the Scooty. I had to look a scooter when I had my injury, so I know he was skirting off in that. But he's not eligible to be the MVP anymore because he's missed, I think, this 65 game minimum mark that you have to play to be eligible to achieve awards.
Any accolades, yeah.
What do you think about that? I mean, it's not much to really say. I'm just speaking from the standpoint of just he's obviously having a great season. I know it's a small sample size, but for the small games that he has played, he's actually been playing pretty well, doing Luka things. Do you think this is just an example of him not committed to changing his body? Because that's one thing we know about Luka, where it's like everything's there, the skill, the leadership, the respect from everybody on the league, the fear. Obviously you could, be a little bit on the defensive end, but when he's doing what he's doing on the offensive end, it's like, you can't expect him to be. Not everybody's a two-way player. He does what he does so exceptionally. It's like if you can't guard, who cares? He's putting up 60, and he could dime everybody. So, but we've heard these things about just him, and you see it in his body. Like some seasons he looks bigger, some seasons he looks more, smaller or cut or more in shape. Do you think it's just a matter of him getting older? And it's like, bro, this is what happens when you don't take care of your body. You're gonna start getting these nicks and these bruises, and they turn into like longer injuries and sitting out for more and more because he's such a talent. And I feel like it's unfortunate to not see him play right now. But also for him just not to compete for the MVP no more because, like I said, the games that he has been playing in, it's like he's exceptional.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that at some point, unfortunately, like there has to be some type of stipulation for awards. So I understand the 65 games and not being eligible. Because imagine, you play 82 games, somebody only plays 60 games and they win MVP, but they played 22 less games than you. You know what I mean? Like you'd be like, oh, yo, like how's that fair? I think it's to the fairness of availability, but yeah, he's dealing with a lot of stuff. The calf strain was like the the third thing he hurt, and it's probably out of precaution for sure that it doesn't turn into anything else. But I've definitely been there. As age comes on, so does the food that you eat stay on you, and I feel like I don't know if that's his case or if he kind of just like changed his game because you know what I mean. Like we can talk about Luka, but like we can sit here and say Jokic is not the fittest person we've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like he's on the wider side as well. So I think that some people it works for it because of how Luka plays. He plays with pace and everything like that, and less athleticism.
Yeah, but he has a strong frame, so he's able to use the pivots and take
exactly. And he's like 6'9". So like Yeah, he's able to do that kind of stuff. So yeah, he got to adapt, and for sure, he got to play better defense and do what he got to do for sure. But he's still young. It's only his now it's his 6th year in the league. He's still young. I'm not gonna say that he can do this forever. But I definitely think that it's not anything detrimental like that yet. I think that if it's a couple more seasons, the 2 to 3 more seasons where it's like this, I think that it may be detrimental and we need to call it. But it's just like Embiid. Embiid's a big guy as well. And he as well has been dealing with a lot of injuries. You know what I mean? And I feel like that kind of comes with, like you said, like the weight thing, Zion.
Yeah, I'm about to say Zion, another example, got suspended too.
And stuff like that. So I feel like for Luka, I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know. He does look definitely bigger than he did when he was like younger in the league. But I don't know if that's it. He looked a lot quicker too, but I don't know if it's because he changed his game. So it didn't really matter or stuff like that. But no, man, I think that it sucks, but for the 65 games, but I think it does show some precedents, set some precedents for the fact that you can't just miss games. You know what I mean? And still be rewarded for the games you miss, because they say the best ability is availability. So. And if you're available, then that's what matters, to be honest with you. So, yeah.
All right, it's my last basketball question for you right now. Kind of random, but I'm actually just curious. I never actually think we ever spoke about this before. What do you think is the greatest offensive style or set in basketball ever? So when I mean set, I don't mean like a pick and roll. I mean like an actual set.
Like yep.
And for you just mentioned one. So motion out there for everybody is basically, reverse the ball, cross screen, down screen, and just continuous. One of the, best plays that you introduce the kids with, because it just has the continuity, and it's like a play that's interchangeable. So it doesn't really matter what position you're in. Everybody does the same things.
Yeah.
You said motion.
No, I'm saying, I was just giving examples. Yeah. Delay.
Yeah.
I think I like delay. Mm-hmm. I think so, because it kind of is. Yeah, I mean, you're running downhill. It's kind of DHO actions. It's very hard to guard, especially if you have somebody that can handle the rock and is able to pitch, and once they get the ball, able to create. So I may say that one.
I'm a big fan of flex.
Oh yeah, I was going to say flex is good too.
So many variations out of it.
There's so many variations, but man, I really like floppy action.
I'm about to say that next, yeah.
I really like floppy action. I hate guarding floppy action.
Oh my God,
I hate guarding floppy action.
Remember, I don't know if you ever used to do the man used to play a ring around the rosy and just...
Bro, I'll trip him still. Get out of here. Bro, chasing off of, because they would do the ring around the rosy. Mm-hmm. And run to their floppy screen, but then interchange. They would go above it, interchange, and go to the other side. I'm like, yeah, I'm not chasing all that shit. So I'm not gonna say, open 3, cash. All right, let the other way. Let's go. So I hate guarding that joint for sure. But yeah, I think that
if you have a midi, it's an effective play. Midi.
If you have really and truly, if you have really good screeners, it's a really good play.
Yes.
And because if you have really good screeners, then now it turns into screen and show. Mm-hmm. I mean, not show. Flash. Sorry. Flash. Yeah, because now if 2 people run out, so wide open dunk. And then now you know that's gonna happen. So the guy plays bottom side, and so now he has an open run. Trey. You know what I mean? Like it's a very difficult thing to guard for sure.
Top blocks, backdoor.
Top blocks, backdoor. If there's space, of course.
Yeah. If he jumps the gap, you can fade it. Oh yeah.
Exactly. So I do like motion though. I do like motion, but
what's your thoughts on horns? I like horns because there's so many different things out of it. Because you can pass it to the big and the post. You can do a horn Spain. You can do a horns into Spain action. Horns flare. So many things. You can do you can go horns into motion. Like horns can turn into whatever. Exactly.
Horn slip, yeah. You can do actually a horns into a double stagger away. Like you can do so much stuff. Like you know what I mean. Like I feel
or
like
you can go
that's
horns into flex. You know what I mean. So it's
yeah,
like,
exactly. You can turn it right into exactly. So I feel like there's a lot of actions, but like I said, if for a starting standpoint, I'm gonna go with from a starting standpoint. I would like to go with I'll probably go delay, delay action. Yeah, I think I'll go delay action. Just because I like delay action, me personally. But yeah, man, I think that's one of the best ones though.
No, that's dope. That's dope. All right. Well, listen, man. Squid Games episode. Before we talk about Squid Games, let's really speak about the best Survivor game type movies. I wanted to speak about that only because, again, it's in the spirit of Squid Games. But you and I previously spoke on a text chain. I personally grew up watching, American Race, The Amazing Race.
Amazing Race, yeah.
Amazing Race. My mother, that was a big show of her, and I used to watch. I remember her workplace used to have a pot, and they had to make bets on who would win. Obviously, I love the Family Feud, but to me, that's more of a participation type show because when you're on the couch, you could scream out what's happening.
Yeah.
But when it comes to other game shows, I'm not really like into it. But when they made certain movies about certain things, I like it. So what are some of the better films when it comes to games for survival? So not games in terms of Jumanji, but in terms of like games like survival.
Yeah. All right. Well, obviously, Saw. Obviously.
Oh yeah, that's a big one for you.
That's a big one. Escape Room.
Yeah.
Escape Room is another good one.
Have you ever done an escape room in real life?
No, I'm too scared that it might turn into a movie, so I don't want to do it. 'Cause I'm killing everybody. I don't care. Not everybody in the room. Everybody that constructed
I'm just staff.
No, I'm killing everybody.
No, you can get it too.
You're getting beat up too. If they turn the lights off, it's over. Yeah, I definitely have to go with those two. Off the top of my head.
Remember Nerve?
Nerve. I think I remember that one.
About the concepts of death in the world of social media. So the girl basically, remember, she has to do things on live. She's on live and she doesn't do it. Oh my
gosh. Yes. That one's good. There's also The Platform.
Yeah, The Platform.
Platform is a good one.
The Purge franchise, obviously, especially the first one.
I mean, it's not really a game, though.
I mean, some people take it as a game, though.
That's a difficult one. I don't know if I would say it's a game.
No, but you know why it is a game? Remember, because, and we'll talk about this later with the Squid Games, but remember, in some of the Purges, was The Purge the first one? There's elitists and wealthy people that actually go to see. Like,
oh, yeah, that's the second one.
Okay, yeah, so that's what I mean. So, yeah, that one's a game, for sure, because that carries out the same aspects.
Facts. I think the next one I was going to go with, why did I just blank on it? I just blanked on it. Oh, man, I just had it.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games is a good one. Oh, Maze Runner.
Oh, yeah.
Maze Runner is a good one as well.
You know what's a classic one that they're about to reboot?
Oh, which one?
The Running Man.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, that's a Schwarzenegger one about the helicopter police pilot that was accused of committing a massacre. So then basically he was sent to a prison. And when he escaped the prison, he got caught. And when he got caught, they gave him the option of basically either joining the sadistic TV show in which he must flee from armed mercenaries in the attempt to get a pardon. So he had to do that. But they underestimated him, and he ended up surviving that. But it was kind of like a game show because people around the world in America were watching on TV. There was a host. Yeah. It literally was like Hunger Games, but prior to Hunger Games because it came out in 1987.
There's the one with the cars, bro. What was that one called?
Death Race?
The Death Match? It's like the Death Race? Yeah, Death Race. I think it's Death Race.
Yeah.
Death Race. There's that one.
Battle Royale is crazy. I don't know if you're
Battle Royale.
The Japanese one. Yeah, that one's insane.
Oh, that's what. Oh, no. I was going to say that one. That one doesn't make sense. Not the Raid. The Raid doesn't count. That's not really a game.
No, it doesn't count.
But he is going up levels. It is levels. So, I mean, technically, he's going levels. So, technically, I would say.
Hey, we got to do, I ain't going to lie, we have to do a Raid episode one day, bro.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, man's going through levels. So, that's why I say
apartment complex.
That's why I'm saying that it's a game. That's the reason why I say that.
Holy, bro. Man, I think I have, what about So you ever seen Circles or heard of Circles? That was the big one that came out.
I heard about Circles. Never watched that one.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I'm blanking on the one that I was thinking. Let me see if I can find it.
Does The Gamer count?
The Gamer?
With Gerald Butler? Where he's being controlled by an actual player? But like when you die in the game, you die in real life?
Yeah. I guess that counts. Mm-hmm. But you're not really playing for your, like, you know what I mean? You don't have really control.
Yeah. No, the guy has control over you.
In some form of Tron in some form. Yeah, Tron Legacy in the movie. Yeah, because if you die like playing the racing, that you're dead. So I would consider that.
Those are some elite picks.
Those are some good picks. I'm not gonna lie. Some ones I forgot about. I was like,
I didn't even know this genre had this amount of like it's like a death game genre type, I guess you want to call it. But I didn't know the genre had some depth to it. Some moves in here.
No, we definitely might have to.
I want to say it.
might have to have an episode on that one still.
I promise you. All right, but man, that's the end of the intro. We're about to get into Act 1. It's going to be a great episode talking about Squid Games, Season 1, Season 2.
Mortal Kombat, sorry.
Mortal Kombat, of course. And people are watching. So
exactly. Of
course.
Sorry.
No. Yeah, that was, like, I should have thought that too. But like I said, we're about to head into timeout, man. Stick with us. We'll be back with some more Scenedms after this. We are back. Scenedms, issue 53, season number 4. Yes, I said 4, cuatro. I don't know what it is in French, but cuatro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-point play. And it's the issue going with the Squid Games, because we're talking about Squid Games. Now, we don't do this a lot, but shout out to Marley Marr, one of the best editors out there who keeps the podcast sounding so crisp and so clean and looking great too for those who are watching us on the YouTube channel. Make sure to continue subscribing. And like you said, we're wearing the same shirt, the Neon Planet, Pineapple Express. Scenedms merch coming soon. But when it comes to Squid Games and when it comes to Marlon, just throw up the spoiler alert, because I know Merv always says I like the spoiler thing. Listen, we gave people some time. This is one of the most binge-watched shows of all time.
We gave him no time. We gave him no time. Squid Games 2 just came out, bro.
Yeah, on Boxing Day.
It's been a couple weeks.
I know. Get to it. What y'all been doing the holidays? No, I'm playing. But yeah, Marlon, man, go ahead and just sound off on the spoiler alert. I mean, for the first act, we're going to be talking more so about the first Squid Game season, so maybe not yet. But for season 2, definitely we'll let you know when to cut it off if you haven't completed that yet. But man, Merv, Squid Games, fun fact, really quickly. It was the most watched show on Netflix in 2021. And it was the most watched show ever on streaming services with well over 260 million views. And it even surpassed English language series such as Wednesday, which was a big one with Jenna Ortega. And guess what? One of your brother's favorite shows that's coming back soon for
Stranger Things.
Finale, Stranger Things.
It killed Stranger Things?
Yeah. And the dust too. Breakaway. Stole it. Windmill. Look back. Tracy McGrady style.
That's crazy.
Insane. But before we talk about Squid Games, you mentioned to me about a show that's on Prime right now and is going crazy, especially because I actually know a contestant who was on the show. But Mr. Beast has a show similar to the structure of Squid Games. You watched a few episodes. What do you think of the series, and what's the connection to Squid Games?
The only connection to Squid Games is the elimination aspect of it, I guess. Because it's like, you know, I mean, it's not like we have a lot of shows that incorporate money winning at the end. Like, you know what I mean? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Family Feud, Deal or No Deal, stuff like that. Wheel of Fortune. But I feel like this one, it comes with like the added pressure of like, bro, the only one person is going to win out of 1,000 people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's insane. Like, I feel like it starts off as 2,000. The 2,000 compete and off screen, and then the 1,000 compete. And I think it's just like, it's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, if you haven't seen it, but the first thing he does, he offers every person in there $1 million. He's like, yo, I'll give somebody, whoever quits right now from the show, I'll give them $1 million. Like, not each, but $1 million is the pot. Mm-hmm. So then he'll divide it between the people that take it, right? fam, like what? 50 people were gone. There, boom, gone, done. Or like 100 people, something like that. It was something OD because they had to split it. So the first night was cheese. The first night was cheese. He's like, oh, I didn't do that. And it's just like the games that they're playing. It's just like very like it's very like mentally, psychologically, like in a way like messing with you. Personally, I don't know because I would be OD cutthroat in there personally. But some of these guys like crying and like you know what I mean, self-sacrificing themselves and all stuff. I'm like, I'm not doing that. But I think that's the only similarities between the show. But man, the show actually is pretty entertaining and keeps you locked in for the kind of games they are, man. Like I said, I mean, I guess if you haven't seen it, but one of the after that, the very like first thing is that all the row, because there's 1,000 people in there. Yep. All the rows, bro, they're all like lined up beside each other and they're all standing on a platform that like opens up at the bottom.
Right.
And it says that somebody in your row has to sacrifice himself or your entire row is eliminated. Wow. That's it. So, and it's the first, the last 3 rows to have somebody sacrifice, they're all out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, like that's how the game is. And I'm like, so now I'm thinking like, well, I'm not self-sacrificing myself. And then if somebody in your lane self-sacrifice, then bro, and then he just keeps offering money so that people can like snake their teammates, all types of stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, yo, like fam, like better man than me still. Cause as soon as the money offered to me was over 500K or 100K, oh yeah, I'm out. But I think the show is really, really good. Especially for the games that it provides and the intensity that it provides too. So that's personally what I liked about it.
Right.
And I've been liking about it.
I mean, similar to that show, there's also, I mean, after the success of Squid Games, right, they had like a live action attempt of it. I know you saw something like that as well. Is it kind of in the same wheelhouse or what do you, I personally couldn't get attached to it. I watched a couple episodes, but wasn't a fan. Similar to the fact of even the Mr. Beast show, which is cool, but I'm not as invested, right? Because obviously death is not involved. That sounds cynical as hell, but it's like the stakes aren't as high. So when you don't know people, it's not the same. See, a show in the past, I feel like that was successful for doing something similar to this is like Fear Factor, because you want money. And it's like, you were invested, or at least I was as a fan, in watching the show because, like, I dead ass would not do some of that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I would not eat that.
Eating cow testicles and things like that.
There's certain things where I'm like, I'm not doing that. But when it comes to like games, especially when it comes to physicality, because we're athletes specifically, it's like I'm gonna try everything. Now, the mental games too, I'm an educated man. I think I know my stuff, so I'm still gonna attempt it. But when it comes to like that stuff, I'm not even doing that. So that's what keeps me invested into the show. Cause I'm like, bro, this guy really ate that or she really did that. Like, you know, she's wilding. When it comes to the Squid Game show, I think that the limited series actually was able to hold us because of the fact that it has so much story arc and character development. Whereas when it comes to the contestants in real life, you're like, I'm not really, you know what I'm saying? I love Jersey Shore because they took their time and I actually grew up with, you know what I'm saying? Mikey the Situation and DJ Polly and all the mans, bro. Like I actually, you know what I'm saying? Vinny and Snooki, like I grew up with them. If you don't grow up with the contestants, Mr. Beast or even like the live action show for Squid Games, it's hard for me to be entertained by it. So what was your opinion on the Squid Game show?
Yeah, it's kind of what we talked about earlier. You kind of said some of the stuff that we were talking about. Is that like, bro, like, and it's messed up to say, but nobody's dying on these shows. So like, respectfully, so it's not the same. You know what I mean? The whole point of Squid Games is that they're playing for their lives. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna die. They showed up to something they had no idea what was gonna go on. You know what I mean? Like they didn't know what games they were playing. They didn't know what was going on. Like, you know what I mean? And all of them got shot dead. You know what I mean? Like, in the first part, you know what I mean? And I feel like the show doesn't have the same, how do you say, je ne sais quoi, like they say. They don't have the same, like, especially because we all watch the show. So, like the actual TV show. So then now that we're watching the game show, we know all the things they're going to do. They're going to play. And maybe they're not, you know what I mean? I watched only one episode of it and like, it just doesn't hit the same, you know what I mean? It just doesn't have that same, like you said, character arc and like there's full on stories that happen before they go to Squid Games. I mean, I want everybody to know that. Like there's full on stories people go through a bunch of stuff before they even get to the island of Squid Games. You know what I mean? And they have to make a decision because a lot of them are in gambling debt. They're on their last leg. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. But in the TV show, it kind of gets right into it. You don't really have that opportunity to learn about like people's backstories. And by the time you learn about it, you don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, even in the first episode I saw, like, people were saying, like, one of the guys got eliminated. He was just like, yo, I was just trying to make a better life for my family and a better life for my daughter. And I'm like, I care. Like, I felt bad for him, but I'm just like, you don't care. You know what I mean? It's Snake. It's Snake. But that's pretty much it. Like, I feel like the show made people think that, oh, like, yo, we need to make this into like some type of game show, but it doesn't hit the same. I would say that's why I say Mr. Beast Jordan is a little different, because at least it's different games and it incorporates a different type of like thinking than it does for like Squid Games. You know what I mean? So
I think one of the reasons why we enjoy Squid Games, why everybody loves it so much, is because it's the ultimate what would you do show, in a sense where, like, if I was in that situation, this is how I would approach playing hit games, right? But to me, Squid Games, now we're talking about the actual series that premiered on Netflix. One, I think it did so well because it was available at the right time. Like, I think our world just needed it because we were going through the COVID experience, right? Being locked up, people just wanted some things to binge onto, hold on to. And it was like the ultimate water cooler show as well. Like the show where it's like, yo, did you see that? Like, you have to talk about it. And it forced you to have to binge it because it's like, yo, the internet's talking about it, social media talking about it, your family, your friends, everybody's talking about it. But to me, Squid Games is about just the class disparity. It's about the exploitation of poverty and how the players basically are representing the working poor, and then the games are representative of the wealthy and the elite. And I just think it's so wild to me because since the premiere of Squid Games, or just even just about it, it's like, yo, you and I have both seen Eyes Wide Shut. You and I have both seen the whole Purge, the Epstein stuff that happened in real life. So like when you watch the Purge, I mean, when you watch Squid Games, you're kind of like, is this realistic? Like, no, like not like questioning if it's real. You're like, bro, like this is realistic. They're showing us what, like, I want to make money on Merv. And you know me, both of us trying to make paper. We're trying to step into this year being multimillionaires. And I want to make buku money. I don't want to make enough money where I'm invited to those parties where it's like we get to vote on like this person getting done off, like, wearing masks and stuff. Like,
because it becomes like cynical, fam. Like, you know what I mean? There's a certain edge to it. Like, but that's what I was talking to my, I think it was my pops about. He was like saying, he was like having a comment about it. You know, the Yachty Jamaicans. He said his comments about it, and I was like, yo, bro, sometimes we talked about it. There's like a lot of people that do certain things because they just have money. You know what I mean? They feel like they're untouchable. Like, you know what I mean? We heard about the Dubai stories. We heard about all that stuff. And it's just like when rich people like are bored and, you know what I mean? They have everything they want. They have all the money. They're just like, yo, let me try something else. Let me see people kill each other so they can even have like a percentage, a small like 0.000% percentage of my money that I have. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's like, it's so messed up.
It is.
Personally. So that's why I'm just like, yo, like, even if, bro, God is my witness. I mean, but when I get money like that, I would never be indulging in anything like that. Simply because, and people would be like, yo, you say that now. I'm like, bro, like, I don't have any desire to see people in pain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have any desire seeing people struggle. I don't have any, I actually would probably be a person that would invite all those gamblers there and just give them all cash. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like, oh, I need to erase you off the planet of the earth because we're just cleaning the earth because you guys are all the worst of the worst. You're scum. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and especially with like what we believe, like in Christianity and things like that, like, you know what I mean? Everybody deserves a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance. You know what I mean? Depending on obviously, well, not in the Bible, it doesn't depend, but in our own eyes, depends on what you've done. But still, like, I feel like people do deserve a second chance.
We're deserving redemption, sure.
Exactly. Bro, that's what they say. They say the best movies, the best TV shows, the best characters, all our favorite characters are based off a redemption story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man, both characters, him as a person gets redemption as a better actor because of his own stuff that happened to him, personal stuff that he happened. But then in Iron Man, he also does the same thing. He has a redemption arc because he was the most selfish person, and he turned into the person that saved everybody on Earth. And I feel like everybody deserves that. You know what I mean? Imagine Robert Downey Jr. never got a chance to do that stuff. You know what I mean? Who would be? I mean, it'd be Tom Cruise, but who would be Iron Man and stuff like that? So I feel like that is just like so Snake to me, man. I feel like everybody kind of deserves a redemption arc in some regard, of course. No. Obviously, depending on what you've done, but some people definitely do deserve a redemption arc. So
yeah, people get money, they try to play God. I don't understand.
Exactly.
It's because they got the power. I don't know. They feel like they have the power. With that being said, bro, let's just break down the show really quickly. I mean, this might take a little bit, but you could definitely help and chime in if you remember some things. If I miss out some key stuff, because it's been a minute since one came out, but I rewatched it recently, obviously, knowing that season 2 is about to drop. It's about Song Ji Hong. I'm going to call him G just for the remainder of this.
But, call him G still.
Yeah, G. And he's basically a degenerate gambler. He's a deadbeat father. His ex-wife is planning to take their daughter to go live in the States with her new boyfriend. And he's approached by a guy in a suit, who's known as a recruiter, who offers him money in exchange for playing some games on the subway. He does that. But every time he loses, he gets slapped. I mean, the fire slapped out of his face. But every time he wins, he gets awarded. So eventually the man convinces him to compete for some more money. And he's like, bro, got different games. And G's thinking, I mean, why not? Like, how easy was it? This is a childhood game, you know what I'm saying? Why would I not? Man came to me and said, you get opportunity to make this much money playing president? Oh, I'm there, for sure. So I felt G. Or Ludi, I'm there. But after leaving G his card, G basically picks up the phone, calls him, gets picked up by a van, gets knocked out by gas, ends up waking up among the other contestants. They're on these bunk beds. They wake up wearing green jumpsuits that are numbered. He's player number 456. Security is basically dressed in painted-looking pink jumpsuits, and they have black masks and carry significance for their symbol. Did you know that their masks basically were like a ranking system? So,
well, based on season 2, that's what I kind of got.
Yeah.
But do you see the similarities between that and also Sony's design of PlayStation?
Yeah. You got the triangles, you got the X's, and you obviously have the squares. The circles. The squares means that they're the security up top, and the circles represent the people that are working at the bottom, the staff. And they all work with the front man, some creepy ass guy with the black mask. And G is basically crossing paths with characters and players that he recognizes from the real world. For example, there's his childhood friend. There's the woman that pickpocketed him earlier when he had his horse race runnings. There's the guy that, like I said, his childhood friend. And then people end up getting invited to go play the game. The first game is green light, red light, green light. And they get freaked out because after man's get murked for not taking it seriously, they're like, yo, what is going on? And everybody actually wants to go home because they're obviously freaking out. They're scared after the completion of the game. And they're granted a vote, which allows them and permission to leave. Some of them actually, like G went to the police, but the police didn't believe him. He's like, what are you talking about? Where's this island? What are these games? Where's the evidence? Where's the proof?
Yeah.
And his complaint basically was overheard. I'm going to call him Joe by Joe, the cop, or the detective. And he basically resonated with the complaint because he was like, yo, my older brother recently went missing and he received a similar card. So when he overheard that complaint, he was like, yo, I have to connect with this guy because he might be onto something. And basically the players return to the game because some are desperate for some money, right? You have different reasons. You have G's mom who needs surgery because she's sick. You have the old man who's faced with death and had nothing to lose, but that's obviously a plot twist to the end. You have the childhood friend who's going to be arrested for fraud, and you have the woman who's trying to get her family out of Korea. So there's like a lot of people who are like you said, like money is so much, it inspires greed, right? So they had the opportunity to go home and not play the game no more. They saw what happened after playing red light, green light. But some people were like, bro, we actually need the money. So it's like, we're going to put that over our fears or the actual potential of us dying, and not understand this is just a game. And then, so they basically go back. The second game, they have that. It's a cookie cutting game with the shapes. And this is one of the episodes where we find out that one of the contestants actually takes the gun, puts it on the guard, makes him reveal the mask. You find out that it's just a kid. And the front man comes in and kills the guy with the mask, the staff member, because he's like, bro, we never take off our mask. What are you doing? And murks him. Also, right after that, that's when you have the food fight. And that's for the first time where we see the contestant for the first time kill another contestant in the living area, which once everyone sees the prize money go up for that, and then there's no consequences from the staff members, it inspires a riot that happens, and that ride's pretty crazy. Then there's a third game, which is tug of war. We see the front man realize that there's a detective in the presence. Because remember, I spoke about Detective Joe that overheard G's complaint. So he ended up making his way to the island. And basically, the front man sends a manhunt to go and secure who he is because there's an intruder on his island behind the scenes during these games. The fourth game is the marble game. And this is the first time where we see G kind of crack. I mean, he's not the best person in the world anyway. He's a bad father. He's a gambling addict. He's kind of not good to his mother. He's a horrible person. But at the same time, he's still trying to uphold some type of hope in him. Like, he was still like a good person. But it's the first time where we see him cheat. And he ends up cheating the old man. Remember, using the Alzheimer against him and ends up snaking him. And the old man, we thought he gets killed, but he gets, killed and whatever, quote unquote. And that's when we see G for the first time crumble to the effects of the game, where it's like, all right, maybe people aren't good. You know what I'm saying? When they're back against the wall, like, nah, people are forced to make decisions they don't want to make. But after that, we see that there's VIPs. And that's what I was talking about with The Purge and different movies where we have the VIPs come in and watch the remainder of the games live. Then there's the fifth game, which is the glass bridge breaking game. We see player 17 who used to be a glass worker, so he knows like the different panels and stuff. The temperaments, but then the front man peeps that, so he turns the light off. And then Sung G, my man G, again makes another snake decision and pushes player 17 onto one of the tempered glasses because he's like,
I thought it wasn't him.
Nah, it was him.
No, it was the bully guy.
It was a bully? I thought it was G. No. The girl took the bully. The lady took the bully. She hugged him and was like, I'm tired.
Really? It was G?
Yeah, it was G, bro. So the second time we see him, maybe I'm wrong and people will correct me for it, but I'm pretty sure when I watched it, I remember it was G. I'm like, it's the second time he's kind of turning heel. Like, you know what I mean? Where this guy's turning bad, bro. But it's like, he has to do what he has to do because the shot clock was running out. And the glassmaker was like, I refuse to go forward.
Oh, I thought it was his childhood friend maybe then that did it. Because remember, they were all there. It
might have been that, but I think the childhood friend is the one that he kills the girl at the end because he tries to convince him, like, yo, we need to kill her with the last three left. Or whatever. I think he did that. I know he did that. That was Snake for sure. So after that, basically, there's three players left. One player wants to team up. That's the best friend that you're talking about, the childhood friend. He wants to kill the girl. G's like, nah, because he realizes the girl's injured from the glass game. Because remember, once they complete the glass game, all the glasses explode. She actually gets hit with one of the piece of shards, and she's injured. She makes a promise to G, or G makes a promise to her where he's like, I'll take care of your family or your daughter at the end or whatever if I win. So the childhood friend, like you said, ends up killing her, which is crazy. And Joe, basically the detective guy, he successfully escapes the compound, but is then tracked down by the front man. And they have a confrontation when he's about to leave the island. The front man reveals to him that he's his brother. I did not see that coming at all. Super unpredictable. Even though he found the records of his brother being a previous winner, I didn't assume that he was a front man. I just thought like, oh damn, like his brother. Okay, that's cool. Like the cool connection. So that was a pretty dope twist by the show. And the front man recruits his brother, Joe, and is like, bro, yeah, I won the show. I'm a part of it. Like, yo, come with me. We could take over together. And he rejects the proposal, ends up getting shot into the ocean because of this. And then there's a sixth and final game, which is the Squid Game, which is the title of the show. And then G wins that game, beating his childhood friend. He could have killed him at the end, but instead makes a deal. And that's where we see him kind of like actually show like, no, there is hope.
Compassion,
Yeah, right, compassion. But his friend ends up saying, nah, bro, win the game, take the money, and take care of my debt and my family and stuff. So he ends up killing himself right in front of him. G ends up leaving the island, gets a debit card where he's gifted the massive jackpot and the amount of money from the games, but he views it as blood money, so he feels guilty. He learns that his mom passes away, super sad part, because it's like he went to go do this to pay for her surgery, so it's like he comes out, it's like, yo, I actually did it. And then it's like...
He did all that for nothing.
Exactly. He gets invited to meet the man behind the game, and we find out it's the old man, player number 1. And he explains his reasoning for creating the games and why he chose them. And then he leaves money for his friend. Like I was telling you, he made the promise for the girl, the daughter, or the kid. So he gives the kid to the girl's mother he made the promise of. And he sees someone else getting recruited to play the game. And he tries to go and stop him, but it's too late. And then it's supposed to get onto the plane to go home and join his daughter, be a great father and all that with the winnings and the earnings and the money. And he gets a phone call where the front man's like, bro, go enjoy the money, bro. Get on the plane. And then obviously we know he doesn't. So that pretty much is my long-winded Merv's chase down of Squid Games season 1. But man, did you enjoy it? And if so, why? What did you like about it? What were some of your favorite moments of that show?
Man, it was just something that like we all could resonate with, you know what I mean? Where we all wanted the money. And then we could see his story, but then like we could see all the other people involved. We can see like the bully. We didn't want him to make it.
Yeah.
We saw like the evil woman. We saw like, you know what I mean? All that stuff. And we're just like, yo, like we just had even the I think it was the Indian guy.
Yeah.
Even him, like, you know what I mean? We just saw like a bunch of these people and we're just like, yo, like we kind of resonated with each character in some way because of their past or because of how they treated everybody. Cause even like the Indian character, when he like saved somebody from being shot in the first episode when they played red light, green light, when they were falling and he grabbed them by the shirt. And I think it was G. It might have been G. And he held him. He held him and held him up. I think that, man, the show really resonated with me. Especially I was like one of those people that didn't want to watch it because, you know me, I don't want to watch things that are popular usually.
Yeah.
Because people gas it. Yeah, I don't want to lose the hype. But I actually watched it after a while and it was a really good show, man. I thought that it had me stuck in like the show. You know what I mean? I wanted to see how it ended. And they played it really well because you didn't know what was going to happen next, how things were going to happen next. And I think that's what makes great shows. And especially because it's like a show that is not American. You know what I mean? It's not American, it's not North American, not European.
K-drama,
it's Korean. So it was just like, yo, it was actually really cool to see somebody put together a series that really drew us in like that. You know what I mean? And I feel like it was just like watching Parasite as well. It was like something that can draw us in that's not from our usual planes of watching movies. Train to Busan, all those ones, you know what I mean? So that's what really stuck me in and that's why I liked it. What about you though?
I think the pilot episode is one of the reasons why I liked it a lot is because it did that thing of like when you have an opening episode that's so effective because of its pacing in terms of we're able to learn so much. Like we found out within in less than an hour that it was about the intrigue games or it was about the mysterious people that organized it behind it. We found out about G's moral grayness. We found out about everything in the show within just one episode. And then obviously at the end, that was like the red light, green light game. So it was like, yo, how could you not click it onto season 2? It's like, I think someone got murked right at the end of episode 1. And you're like,
because we're trying to figure out like, wait, what is this?
Yeah, like,
we thought it was like a game. And then Master dying. So
when you speak about the world of cliffhangers, it's like, that was a great one. I think that, like you mentioned, with these dramas that are inspired outside of North America, I mean, the fantastic actors, right? The characters of Squid Games, I think, are just so amazing. And it's not just about their performances, but it's matched up well, I think, with the aesthetics. Like one thing I love, you know me, I love cinematography. And I just think that they use the colors so well. Like, I just find it crazy how the show is dark in terms of brutal violence, but at the same time, there's like bright primary colors.
Right? Like even just like the staircase area.
Right.
Like how bright it is and all stuff like that. And how complex it is on top of that. Like it's so difficult to even like figure out how to walk around, where to walk around and stuff like that. So
it's like a weird juxtaposition where it's just like, again, the show is dark, but then it's like all these bright colors like you're mentioning. And then
because it kind of, I think with that, sorry to cut you off, but that's such an interesting aspect because it's just like, it's so bright that you're forgetting that it's dark. You know what I mean? So it's like, it kind of draws you in because it's like, yo, it's so bright and it's so this, but then it's like really and truly like dark shit going on. You know what I mean? So that's, I feel like it's very interesting to see.
Nah, facts. It has great cinematography. The set design is incredible. Like you spoke about, I think it's a literal visual treat. Like a lot of shows aren't like that where it's like scene by scene. You're like, wow, how'd they shoot this? Or wow, that looks good. Like with the way they framed it, the symmetry, just the colors and how everything works together. Like I'll never forget it was a callback in season 2, but I'm pretty sure it was an episode, I think it was Red Light, Green Light 2, where they do like a zoom in on G, like right away. And they do it again in season 2 where G's like, oh, we're effed. Cause he realizes like,
he's stuck on the island.
Yeah. So I just love like even that subtlety of the filmmaking. I just think that the characters were so likable, man. Like we're empathetic towards them. Each of their deaths became a tragedy, but at the same time, it was horrific because Outside of one of your favorite shows, I don't want to speak for you, but I know you're a big fan of Game of Thrones. I feel like those are the kind of shows where it's like they're constantly killing main people and you're not expecting it. Where you're like, you know how sometimes we watch movies, you're like, they're not going to kill this person. Like,
and nigga dies early.
Yeah, and you're just like, wait, what?
Chris Brown stomped the yard. Boom.
Yeah, like
wait,
so
what?
The Squid Games had that where it's like they made us attached, like you said, because it took us a while we just jump into the games. Like there was backstories. And in between the episodes of the games, there was backstories where people were explaining about like their exposition stories, basically why they're even participating. And I was under the impression of like, yeah, like what the hell? Like how do we get from there to there? Like why would you have me invest in this person, this girl's life, and then she got murked in episode 4? I'm just like, damn, in the craziest way. And so I like that because they're not afraid to take those chances. It's just like, yo, this person's a major plot point, but guess what? They're gone now. Now what? And then I think that just adds to the unpredictability of the show. When some of your favorite characters die, because you're like, nobody wants your favorite character to die, but then you just least expect it. And then, yeah, man, I just think some of my favorite episodes is the tug of war episode. I love the strategy.
I was gonna say that's my actual favorite episode.
Yeah.
With the strategy, because that's something that you don't really think about.
Tug of war needs more than just raw strength. When I was young, we always liked tug of war. It's a game I know well. Good leader is very important. The one player is on the right side of the rope, then the next one should be on the left. You need to have someone strong and dependable, like the anchor of a ship.
The honeycomb one was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a good one. But I think, like you said, like, man, I don't remember if it's episode 1 or episode 2 happens. The red light, green light, the first one, because that's when you realize, yo, the show is crazy. That would probably be my favorite episode. Our favorite scene is the red light, green light joints. So,
and it was so memorable, right? Because you had that big, it was like a doll or whatever, and she's turning around. I remember everyone like using that meme. Then her voice, and then obviously the sound, right? We didn't even speak about that, but the score behind Squid Games, I think, is one of the reasons why it's so great, is because those signs are signs that live in your head. Like that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
like.
Green light. Red light.
All that is stuff that
I hate that all the time. It's like, oh my God. Bro? Have I ever heard that? Oh, Lee, I'm killing everybody.
So I just love that quality too, because we always speak about it on Scenedms, but when you're able to add in like little nuggets like that, I think it just, those caveats make something memorable where it's like, yo, we're like, oh, they also have that. Like when a score is something, Interstellar is another one too, where it's like, you could, if I say you do the Interstellar score, you could do it right away. Like everybody knows like there's certain, like, and I just love that with Squid Games has that alertness to it. I also loved, like I said, the marble scene, I think was kind of sad. Cause I was like, again, that was like a crazy scene, but who do you think, just to end off this act, this is a long act, but who do you think was your favorite character of the series in terms of the first season? And who's your MVP if it's not the same person?
It was the girl that he promised.
Oh yeah. For the kid.
Wait. Yeah. Kang Sa Bike. Yeah, I think it is. I don't know how to. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. Should also be your MVP as well?
MVP, silent MVP would have to be the Indian character. Silent MVP because of like how nice he was, man. He was a really nice guy. Like it was like he forgot why he was there kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? He was like, out of everybody that was there, I think that he actually had the purest of hearts.
Right.
And he didn't really deserve to die the way he did.
Facts.
Because I don't know if you remember, but he died so snake. Because G's friend told him to go ask the person for more marbles or something like that, and then just dipped.
For me, I'll probably go with G. I know it's a typical answer, but I just love the different layers to his character.
Yeah.
I think that he, just as an actor, he did so much. I was impressed because he had to convey so much. He had to be scared. Yeah. He had to be a deadbeat father. He had to convince us that he ain't shit, but then still have us care about him at the same time. And then even in season 2, just to see how confident he is and how in control he's trying to be, even like how he tried to tap into the John Wickedness of it. I know you'll talk about it in season 2, but just seeing his evolution, I think just allows me to appreciate his acting ability. And then knowing him from other shows as well, I'm just like, all right, bro has it. He's tough. And I think if you remove the G character from the show, of course the premise is still amazing and it's dope, but like I don't know if it'll move me the same just because of how excellent his acting was.
If you just came in there with them just playing the game, I don't know how much it would like have the same effect personally.
Mhm. All right, man. With that said, again, a long act. Yo, really quickly, did you notice that our world is basically? I find this is basically what I'm trying to say. The overall commercialism of this of our society is insane because like Netflix as a corporation profited from this. The merchandise. I'm sure there was rides out there. They obviously did the live action show, so I'm sure they made a lot of money from it. The show itself made a lot of money. Mr. Beast even doing his thing, having it based off the show. I just find it kind of ironic because it's just like the wealthiest, elitist people, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly what the show is doing.
Exactly what they're doing. And then the show is so popular because we as an audience love to consume this type of entertainment. And you talked about it before, but this is the point I wanted to end off with and make is that, bro, this has been happening since the beginning of time. You and I have just watched Gladiator 2. Back then, gladiators competed in the Coliseum for what? Entertainment. I know like they weren't making riches and money, but it's like rich people were literally just looking down on them.
Rich people were making money, bro. They were making bets. They were gambling. It was like a sport. They were gambling, and then they would even try to like get their own guys that they can fight, so they can be the masters of the, you know what I mean, the gladiators. So
exactly. So just our spectator culture towards violence is an interesting one. That's all I'm gonna say. I just find it funny how, again, we think it's cynical and like, oh, we would never do that. How can people do that? But then it's like the number one show in the world for a reason because we love seeing it. So it's
that's so snake.
It's so messed up. You know what I mean? But with that being said, bro, let's take a quick break. We'll be back with Act 2. Don't go anywhere. What's going on? Scenedms, issue 53, the one with the Squid Games. And we just spoke about season 1 in depth, you know, the complex layers, why we love the show, why we enjoyed it, just how it took the world by storm and surprise. I think COVID definitely helped because a lot of us were booed up in the crib. Paranoid. Was it I said paranoid. What was that called? The lockdown period? But before you tell us about a little rundown of season 2, I want to ask you, being that Squid Games is a Netflix original show, what are some of your favorite Netflix original shows? If you had to name maybe 5 or a couple of them.
Some of my favorite would definitely have to be Squid Game, of course. Stranger Things, You. Definitely a fire one. Black Mirror.
Yep.
Black Mirror. And then if I had to pick one fifth one, I might have to go with The Haunting of Hill House.
Okay.
I actually watched that one in entirety when I was living in South Korea, and it was a good one, man. It was scary as hell, but it was a good one.
Oh, was it scary?
Yeah, it's a scary one. Yeah, that's a scary one. It's a very scary one.
That's a great list. For me, I'll probably go. You know what? I definitely have Ozark on there. I think Ozark was
it Ozark's thing?
Yeah, Netflix original.
Ozark's a Netflix original?
Yeah.
Yeah, take Haunting of Hill House out of there. I don't know what the hell is going on there. Ozark is definitely up there. Ozark is like top 2. Ozark, Ozark's in there. So.
Ozark for sure. I think Baby Reindeer was a messed up show, but I think it was pretty iconic, especially for what's accomplishing right now. Big fan of Who Killed Sarah. Wild show.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it tailed off at the end, but I like the first 2-3 seasons. And then I would have to say, I mean, you spoke about some of the golden ones, like Stranger Things and all that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm missing any am I missing any that's like standing out?
Nah, the Ozark one caught me off guard, so I forgot about that one. That's a goal right there.
I feel like Orange is the New Black was a Netflix original as well. I don't want to be mistaken. I think so. Because I remember just being in university, that like also being a phenomenon. And you had to.
No, I remember it being a phenomenon, but I don't know because Netflix takes over some series too. So
you're right.
Because in technicality, then you could say that Breaking Bad was a Netflix show because Netflix is the one that made it popular. Yeah. So I don't know, but that's because So I don't know, but that's interesting though.
We have to confirm. Have to look at it. I think there's some great lists. Great. Oh, Narcos.
Narcos, yes, Narcos is definitely.
Yes. All right. So, can you give us a little rundown on season 2 of Squid Games? I mean, we just finished it, loved it. I don't want to give too much more away, man. Let us know how season 2 went down.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna give you the quickest rundown you've ever heard in your life. No, I'm guessing. But season 2, man, it starts with Jiyoung as he ended in season 1, walking away from the flight that he was about to take to America. And then he gets a call from the front man saying, get on the plane. Get on the plane. This is the best thing you can do. Don't make a mistake. And he just like breezes it, whatever. He heads back into the city. He knows because like, how can they see me? That there must be something on him. So he starts like feeling around his body to see if he has any receptors on him. And he feels like there's one behind his ear, and he cuts it out, which is disgusting. Definitely disgusting part. And then he goes on a manhunt, man. He's trying to find these guys again. He's trying to find out what's going on because he really wants to end the game. He wants to end the game. He wants to end everything about it. We're introduced to a different character as she works in an amusement park. And she is obviously in some financial trouble. She lost her child a long time ago, and she's been trying to like find her child, cause she left her child when she was in North Korea, trying to escape to South Korea. And we're introduced to her, which is interesting cause usually some of the stories we are introduced to, are participants. So it was interesting that we're introduced to her because we're like, okay, she's another participant. But, as we follow Jiyoung, he is working with his old adversaries, the gangsters that used to beat his ass because he never paid him. And he owed them debt, and he was now using them so that he could find where the recruiter was, and so that he could get get revenge and find the front man and do all the stuff that he wanted to do. So they're checking for years, man, 2 years, 2 years, 2.5 years trying to find the recruiter because, he really wanted to get back in the game. He was using all his resources and using all the money he could that obviously he had access to because he had bare money. And he was also staying in this abandoned hotel. And yeah, man, they finally, pretty much ran up on the recruiter finally after 2 years. But the only problem is that the head gangster and his counterpart, thought that they could get the recruiter themselves. They go, he's a scrawny guy. He won't do none. The man beat their ass. And then they woke up to, them being tied up.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. You got your ass whooped when you wake up in a different location, like different clothes. Like I don't know.
Different clothes, different location. Just let it be known you got your ass to whoop.
Like how you get knocked out so hard that you don't know a man lifted you up?
Dragging you. No. Never. That's disrespectful still. That's disrespectful. Just kill me.
Nah, that's
kill me. The recruiter actually makes them play an old classic game of Russian roulette, where he actually participates in for a little bit too. Mm-hmm. And he makes them play rock, paper, scissors, 2-hand rock, paper, scissors, pause, which I've never actually it's elimination, so it's 2-hand.
Like -1 or something?
Yeah, -1. It's rock, paper, scissors -1. So essentially you have 2 different rock, paper, scissors stuff that you pick, hands, I guess, I don't know, that you pick, and as soon as he says eliminate or whatever, you have to take one of them back. And obviously you try to pick the one that you think you can win, because if somebody has a rock and you have paper and scissors, you don't want to keep the scissors. You try to keep the paper, so you pull back the scissors, you have paper, and you win. Yeah. So that's how they were playing the game. And he said if you disobey the rules, I mean, you die. You get it. No, the Russian roulette, like, keeps playing, whatever. So anyways, so he's like, let's up the odds. And he adds another bullet into the game. Obviously, if you add 2 more bullets into the game, that's is a 1 in 3 odds, which makes it a 33%. When it was 1, you know what I mean? Those odds were 1 in 6. Percentage wise, I'd have to get back to you on that one. I'm blanking on percentage right now. Probably closest to like 15-ish%.
Right.
And yeah, the leader of the gangster group, the gangsters, dies because they try to play whatever. So anyways, the recruiter finds out where Gyeong is because Gyeong is obviously trying to find him, pulls up on him, and plays Russian roulette with that nigga too.
Man loves games.
and Gyeong, like, I'm not gonna lie, stood his ground and was just like, yo, we're gonna play it. And the man didn't add no bullets, it was just one. And they knew because there was only six shots you can take. And they kept going back and forth until the recruiter finally shot himself in the head and we all thought that, yo, he got the last bullet because it landed on him, the last one. It was the last bullet. It was the 6th try. And Gyeong was just like, yo, so you gonna shoot me? And the man, shot himself. He's like, yo, he's true to the game. I said, a better man than me. I would have shot that nigga in the head.
This guy's headstone reads he was true to the game. Man did not shoot the game ever.
Exactly. And another side story we forgot to speak about is the police officer. I forget his name. You said his name earlier.
Yeah, Joe Hyung.
Joe Hyung.
I said Joe, yeah.
Yeah, Joe. He actually wakes up from a coma, waking up from his bullet wound of getting shot. And he actually has been trying to figure out this whole island, the Squid Game thing as well. Follows Jiyoung to the house.
As a man with brothers, I have a question, bro. Did he have to shoot him? He couldn't have
kicked that nigga off? I guess he could have. I guess he could have just grabbed that nigga. I guess
hold him hostage.
I guess I could.
Until he finally wanted to be down with the clinic.
I think he was too much in the deep end, bro. Like he was too far in the deep end. I think he like low key is just like he thinks more about the game than his own self and stuff like that.
Damn,
so, anyways,
you messed up. I said, damn, Michael, better stay messed up.
That nigga off. No, I'm guessing. But nah, so Joe follows Gyeong and pretty much is just like, yo, fam, like, yo, like you killed this man. He's like, nah, you're being arrested for in suspicion for killing, and then he gets knocked over the head by the gangster that actually was saved from the recruiter because the recruiter did not kill him. And they kind of just finally work together. Gyeong shows them that this man has bank. This man has a whole bed of cash. And there's only like not even a quarter. Maybe 1/32th of it. 1/32nd of it is taken. And as he is a part of that, and they go to the back, the guy's like, yo, I have all these guns. Gyeong shows him he has guns for days. His man's been ready. So he's like, yeah, I have guns, I have all this stuff. So he's like, yo, these guns work. He goes to the other side of the motel. First of all, I was like, yo, this motel's big as hell. I was like, yo, I might need this is good. But then anyways, they start shooting and he realized, yo, we need military men. We need people. We're going to go to do this thing. Cause we found when the recruiter was there, he said, yo, if you kill me to Gyeong, cause Gyeong obviously had the gun. He was just like, yo, if you kill me, you'll never find out who is running this thing and who invited you. You know what I mean? There's a whole invite in my thing right now. And if you kill me, you'll never find out. So anyways, he takes the invite. He goes it's the same night as Halloween. Gyeong obviously runs into the guys, gets picked up by a limousine that has the front man talking, to him through, it's like a piggy bank.
Intercom, yeah.
Yeah, piggy bank intercom. And Gyeong is just like trying to get his way, shoot his way out because he has a gun and obviously everything's bulletproof.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, yo, put me back in the game. He's like, I want to go back in the game. And lo and behold, he wakes up back in the game and he's amped. He's like, yeah, bro, I made it back to the game. And for us as audience, we see that he actually they have a tracker in his mouth, in his tooth, so that they can't find it.
Yeah.
But when he gets there, like Joanne talked about, the man's like, shit. He looks into his tooth and there's no tracker. Tracker's gone. So not even the military man them can come and pull up on him. So then now they have to go searching. Young is stuck there again. They play the first game. He's trying to explain to people, yo, red light, green light, bro. You will die if you don't stop. You will die. Like, and they're like, yo, you're just talking. Who's this crazy guy? Bro,
so that one old man was pissing me off, bro.
I hope that nigga die. But anyways,
why should we listen to you? Like,
blah. Like, old nigga, you're gonna die. You're not gonna make it. Do you think you're gonna make it all these guys? Respect, bro. Anyways, so anyways, they go and they're playing a game and nobody believes him. They make it through like the first couple turns around of the red light, green light. Then one time, Somebody moves, boom, headshot off. And everybody's like, wait. So everybody starts running, trying to do the same thing they did in season one.
Crazy.
Pin, pick.
Like
And Young's just trying to tell him, like, bro, chill. Like, we're going to make it. Just like, yo, follow what I lead. Like, follow my lead and cover your mouth when you talk, blah, blah. They make it to the other side. Young actually tries to save a person that got shot because he was supposed to be eliminated. And when he makes it across the line with him, they actually shoot him in his head. So then everybody's like, yo, how do you know all this stuff? Like, blah, blah. And he's like, yo, I actually won the game before. And I know how it goes. I know how it's played. The next game that we're going to play is going to be the honeycomb game because that's how they played last time. Mm-hmm. People are starting to hear him. He's starting to make friends with everybody. Come to find out, the next game they play is, the biggest thing now, the biggest difference from season 1 to season 2. Sorry, I'm doing a rundown, fam. Sorry, guys. I got to keep it in order. But the biggest thing from this rundown is now that if a majority vote says, yo, we want to leave, not just a certain amount of people, but a majority vote, like, you know what I mean? More than the other, comparable to season 1 where it was the people that wanted to leave could leave. Mm. Majority vote says that everybody leaves and they actually get to split the pot of whatever's left in the pot of money. So this time after red light, green light, they try to do it and bare people say, nah, I'm trying to stay. And Young's like, she's like, bro, do you guys not realize we're going to die, bro? Like, the games are not, they're serious, bro. Yeah. And nobody wants to hear it. They're just like, bro, you're just talking. Like, I'm trying to win the money. Like, you think like, all these guys are in OD debt. So they're not going to get out of debt without that, whatever. Anyway.
They're on something like, why not? One more.
Yeah. One more round. So then, anyways, Young's trying to talk to them, telling them it's a honeycomb game. When they get there, it's not the honeycomb game. They're supposed to be put into groups of 4. Yeah. And they play all these kid games. Yep. That they played when they were younger in Korea. Mm-hmm. And that's the fun thing about it is that we're watching people play games that, like, you know what I mean, are relative to like where they grew up and what they grew up on, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what adds to the excitement of the show. During that time of vote, somebody showed up as 001. And the 001 was a very important person. The 001 is the front man. But nobody knows it's the front man because obviously he usually covers his face. So the front man is actually the one that voted for them to stay. And then he joins up with Gyeong talking about, oh, I apologize, yo, like, you know what I mean? I just really need this money for my family. My wife lost her kidney and blah, 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 blah. And then they start playing the games. And when they realize that they have 5 minutes to finish these very complicated games, I'm not gonna lie to you, very complicated games still. Mm-hmm. You die. Obviously, they gun you down. And yeah, so Gyeong and them are the last ones out of the room. And they almost don't make it. And the front man actually is in Gyeong's group and actually is the one that helps Gyeong make it to the next round. And there's a lot of people that died, a lot of people that perished, and there was blood everywhere, and they just don't clean it up. They just clean up the body, so there's bare blood everywhere.
Bloody ass things.
So anyways, again, people try to make the vote and say like, yo, fam, we need to stop playing this game. But again, more people are like, yo, we want to keep playing. We want to keep playing. So Gyeong's like even more cheesy. He's like, bro, like, guys, you don't understand what's going on. You don't understand what's going on. So anyways, the next game is actually the most difficult game. The next game they have to prepare for is a game of I don't know what it's called, but they have rooms around the room, and they tell you that you have to have a certain amount of people in this room.
It's called Mingle.
Mingle, yes, Mingle, that's what it's called. And so they say 6 people in a room. Then you have to get 6 people and get into a room. And if you can't get 6 people into a room in time, you die.
It's like, what, 50 rooms, I think? So it's
yeah. So a lot of people have obviously became friends. There's a lot of side stories of people becoming friends. And there's a person of transgender descent. And they actually like know a lot about the game. Mm-hmm. As well, and know a lot about what's going on. Kind of not a lot, but they know what's going on. They're trying to win. They've been very encouraging to all the people that are in the game. And when one of their friends dies, it was like very, very like everybody starts crying. Everybody starts going through it. There's a mother and son there. There's like a whole bunch of stuff going on, man. And then at the end of that round of that game, the front man actually kills one of the mans in the room. because they needed 2 people in the room and a third man was in there. And he tried to tell him to get. He's like, I'm not getting out. So the man just choked him out and killed him, snapped his neck. I was like, holy. And one of Gyeong's very close friends, childhood friends, was actually in the game too, who actually spotted him from early on and was just like, yo, like, that's weird, because he was in the room with the front man. He's like, yo, why did he do that?
Making eye contact with him. Like,
so anyways, the next time now, because obviously the game has gone OD intense, they've lost hundreds of people. Mm-hmm. They decide to go and vote this time, and this time it's a tie. But just like in season 1, they give them some tools this time so that they are able to eliminate people themselves. To the point now where there's a whole fight that happens in the bathroom, the whole fight that happens in the sleeping quarters, people die, but Gyeong uses this time to tell people that are on his side for leaving that, yo, we need to pretend, and when the people come over, steal their guns, and we need to take over the people that run this thing, because this thing right here is really what's causing the problems. Like, forget the game, you know what I mean? Forget all the money and stuff. Like, bro, they're like literally using us as lab rats and trying to kill us. Mm-hmm. So they fight against the Squid Games lieutenants, everybody. The front man also helps them along with it, pretending like he is helping out. They make it all the way to as close as possible to the control room. Gyeong and his best friend and all the other people that were a part of that. And then the front man snakes him and kills the people that were a part of it, and also kills Gyeong's best friend. Gyeong still doesn't know that the front man is the man that he has been befriending this entire time. But it adds for a crazy twist. And there's so many different side stories that are happening, but the main story is that Gyeong and the rest of the people are still gonna have to be playing this game, and Gyeong is gonna be punished for things that are happening. He was punished by his friend getting killed, but I'm sure that is not the last punishment he's gonna deal with. So yeah, not quick little rundown of Squid Games season 2. Oh, it was a really good season. I think my favorite episode would have to have been the last episode of the season. I really enjoyed the fact that the colorful aspect of it, of them fighting in the stairs, because the stairs are such a complicated area. I think that was a really good, like, you know, even like shooting at each other and everybody having to understand military equipment, military guns.
Yeah,
I think that
having the one guy be scared, right? Because didn't he used to have experience in the military? Or but we find out he didn't have experience in the field?
Exactly. That's what immediately what happened was a Marine. And as soon as he started being scared, I could realize that he had never been in the field and never actually shot a gun in the field. He was just a Marine, but never shot in a field. So
right after they finish securing the room,
check the eliminations.
They'll start scanning the bodies. We wait until it's time to strike.
Damn! You have no right to stop me killing these greedy assholes!
We didn't take these guns so we could use them like this. If you shoot them, then we're no better than the monsters who trapped us here.
So yeah, man, it was definitely a season to remember, man. It added a lot of aspects that we definitely didn't think about, and stuff that we're definitely gonna have to think about in the future when it comes to the show. But it left us on a cliffhanger that definitely makes us want to tune back into season 3, man. It was a great show, great episode, great show, great season, man. I loved everything about it. So
yeah, I thought season 2 was an incredible season. I didn't understand why some people didn't like it. I mean, I could resonate with the fact that the novelty is gone, in the sense where we know there's going to be games played, right? So it's like that surprise isn't there anymore. And then especially when they start off with the same game, red light, green light. But like you mentioned, they pivoted and introduced new games. So like as a fan, I was invested. And then even from a story standpoint, it's like my favorite thing about this season was the fact that they switched to the guard's perspective. You already mentioned it, but the girl at the amusement park, and then seeing the motivations for why a staff member would want to even be a part of this.
Yeah.
I think was just a cool concept. It was a narrative switch that I think that was very successful when it came to help elevating the show and bringing it further. Because I wanted to see like what the perspective was. And then there's beef within that, because then she's not doing something that she's supposed to be doing and is interfering with the process of them trying to harvest the organs and save the bodies and blah, blah, blah with the other staff members. I thought that was a little cool part too. Personally, Merv, I don't know how you felt about the voting, but I liked it, but didn't like it. The reason why I didn't like it is because it felt redundant and it was frequent. And then it kind of slowed down the show for me sometimes. Like, it took me out of the show sometimes. Because it, like, the first 2 times, like, okay, cool. But then after a while, it became so dramatic. And then I'm like, bro, who was the last person, bro? Go hurry up and vote. Like, I'm trying to figure out what y'all about to do. But I understand, like, the necessity of it. So I'm not tripping. But I'm just saying, like, from a pacing standpoint, it, like, took me out of it a little bit. But the voting thing was interesting because it kind of, like, resembled the democratic voting process that feels reflective to our society in the sense where it's like giving us that feeling that free will is kind of an illusion. And then it was like pitting players against each other that showcase people's true feelings about the game. And there was like a moral gray area between G and the front man, and the 2 colors, like the X's being red and the O's being blue, representing the red and the blue states. To me, that's what I felt like in America, the government, and just an example
good catch. Yeah.
About how we see the symbolism behind the choice that was included to be on that green screen, on that screen of watching the show. So that's a parallel that I kind of like was hip to.
We've come all this way already, right? So let's just play one more game!
Well said, young man. There's no point in voting to stop. You all heard him. You know these kids' games inside out. It's why you're all still alive. Right? So let's keep playing. Until we all get what we came for. Just one more game, no more, no less.
Yeah, one more game, we can do it!
One more game!
One more game! One more game! One more game! One more game! One more game! One more game! One more game! One more game! One more game! One more game! One more game!
But like you said, I love the new games. I think real quickly, I want to ask you who your favorite characters and who won this season. But for me, I love Thanos. I think he's so cartoonish, but the reason why I think he's a unique antagonist is because I think he reflects us as an audience. Because one, he felt detached from the game. Like even in the first game, the bro started even killing people because he wants to make it more fun. And then obviously he was on drugs, but I'm just saying, like, the fact that he was even dancing in Mingle, or just how he was so an advocate of like, nah, let's play these games. Like, let's play. All he cared about was the clout, the money. I just feel like that's just how people are. Like, if we had to like establish different architects of like how a lot of people in this world would react if they're in that situation, I feel like they would be like Thanos. Not in the sense of like his outgoingness. I'm just saying in terms of like the mindset of like, all right, I'm here, or else I'll make the most of it. Like just that culture. So I think he was a very interesting character. And I think can I switch the show to off the English thing? And you know, he was like the only character.
He speaks some English.
Speaking English. So that to me was like another point of like reinforcing that he kind of represents the audience in a sense.
Yeah.
Because he's more like the common whatever.
He's actually like OD famous in real life, by the way.
And he is, yeah. He's OD famous. And then obviously he's a Marvel guy. I love the connection. You know, painting his nails like the Infinity Stones and all that funny stuff, and just raps that were trash, but just funny in his pickup game.
OD trash.
But when we spoke about characters that he didn't expect to die, I didn't think that he would have, obviously the spoiler alert for season 2, but I didn't expect him to get murked in the bathroom like that. That was crazy.
I was hoping he died sooner, personally, but it was annoying the hell out of me. But nah, man, his character really did add, but he just, it felt like a redundant character.
Yeah.
It felt like there was always going to be a bully guy that really like thought himself to be bigger than everybody else and bigger than life kind of thing. So he was kind of annoying in that aspect.
Sure.
Let's play one more game, okay? Let's go! Just one more game. I'm sorry, boy. Oh, boy. Shut the fuck down. I'm so fucking angry, man! You love it.
But I can see what you mean, though. He did add an aspect of like us and being the audience, and I like, and that's actually really cool aspect about it. But I would have to say that my favorite character would have had to have been. Ooh, that's a tough one, man.
I like the mother and the son, but
yeah, I like that too. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Young's friend. I actually really liked him. He was pretty cool because he would like go on and off of like being like this brave guy, whatever.
Yeah.
But he was the one that really brought Young back. You know what I mean? Even when they were like arguing at the on the bed, there was just like yo da da da, and like Young like started wilding out. He's like, see, I thought I lost my best friend there. Yeah, like I thought I lost my best friend kind of thing, and riding out with his friend and everything like that, bro. Like, nah, man, I think that he really did his thing, and it's so unfortunate, spoiler alert, that he had to die. So yeah, man, it was a great season. Really enjoyed it. I think it was very necessary for what we wanted to see. I thought it was unnecessary, but man, when I saw the season, I was like, yo, I can see why they kept doing it. So it was really good. So yeah,
Facts. With that being said, man, that's the end of Act 2. Great talk about Season 2 of Squid Games, like Merv said. I mean, we're hoping that it's going to be released within this year. I heard rumblings about it coming out, whether it's going to be the fall or the summer. But really quickly, before you end this act, what do you think? Like, were you actually? We'll get to that in the next act. We'll end this act and we'll come back for Act 3. Don't go anywhere. Got more scene DMs after this.
둥글게 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 빙글빙글 돌아가며 춤을 춥시다.
We are back. Season 4. This is Act 3, Issue 53. We're talking about the Squid Games TV show. And really quickly, before we finish this or get into the episode, we forgot to mention Money Heist.
Money Heist, man, for Netflix.
Scratching our head like, damn.
Yeah, that was a stupid one not to mention, man. I remembered it and then just blanked. What a great show, man. Love that show.
Great.
Another non-English speaking show, but that was actually really elite. So, but yeah, man.
In the spirit of Squid Games, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the Squid Games series, man. What is an OG childhood game that if you were the front man, you would have commissioned to put in the Squid Games if you ran?
Oh, so they didn't want to hear me. 21. Elimination, and each round, whoever's the last person out gets killed. Ooh, so you're literally playing for your life. That actually would have been elite. Definitely would have put Octopus on there. Remember the Octopus game?
Oh wow, we gotta sit down and
but not for you'll die if you get touched by it. That's it. That's what it is. Because remember, it was Octopus and it was also people trying to tag you. Remember, they were trying to
you had to jump over the Octopus.
Yeah, you had to like deke them out and then also jump over the Octopus and stuff.
Yeah.
It would have been cool. That would have been a cool one. I think that another one I was just thinking about was
what about Pump? Remember Pump?
Oh, you pump somebody out of the game?
Nah, with the basketball, you gotta
yeah, pump somebody out. You have to like. We were so young, man. Just put back the dunk on around. Yeah, easy.
I was tough at kickball. They had kickball.
Kickball I've been over. Yeah, I've been to the moon. And then I would say tag, just like a regular tag.
Okay.
I think a cool one. Cool is not really the word, but hide and seek would have been an interesting one.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
Giving you like all reign to to hide. That's actually one of the games that they play in Beast Games.
One of the movies, yeah.
No, Beast Games, yeah. Oh, wow. So it would have been actually interesting to see them play, and if they get caught, they get shot. So I mean,
I ain't gonna lie. They had a looty game. Oh my goodness! I'm working everybody off the board, bro.
Dominoes,
or like a real
I'm smacking the table. I'm smacking the table.
6 love.
Kill his Easily. The president would have had to be in there.
Oh my
president would have had to be in there. Oh,
Signal?
I'd be bro. Signal in there?
Block.
You lost Nah, man. If they played a long game of Monopoly, and you got bankrupt, that would be sickening still.
Facts.
There's a couple more that I was thinking about.
I mean, you said 21. Let's clarify. Is 21? Are you speaking about American?
Yeah. Okay, sorry. There's different ways. Yeah, American. Because in Canada we call it American, and in America they call it 21. Yeah.
Okay.
Bumblebee
crazy.
Huh?
Bumblebee crazy. Because if a person misses before me, I'm launching their ball. Like
bump? Yeah. My God. Nah, sir. Yo, imagine a man says, yo, the game we're playing today is bump, and you're in the front of the line? Dog. But I'm whipping it off the backboard, and I'm getting the ball, and smacking that nigga's ball as far as possible. Yo, fam, I don't care what's going on, bro. Holy man, used to fight about that, huh?
Yeah, we get picked first and bump here.
Yeah, you're done.
Still, not miss, huh?
Yeah, easily. Another, I think, bro, there were so many games we would play as kids. Remember the sheet one? with the ball.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, I gotta keep it up. That one would be interesting.
And you
have to run underneath. Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, that one would be interesting.
Gotta jog at the childhood memory, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. You're making me think about all these joints. But yeah, bro, all those games would actually be pretty fun. There's like so many to pick from, and so many interesting ones that we could also play as like adults too. Like that would be funny as hell. So I think like beer pong or something like that. Like beer pong would be hilarious.
Beer pong would be crazy.
You hit the last shot, and the man's like, no, and just get shot up.
Redemption. I get a chess match.
That'd be crazy, man. No, that'd be insane still. Nah, yeah, I think that there's too many.
Yeah. For sure.
There's too many that we could play, but nah, man, yeah, I think those are some of those. It'd be cool if we could actually do that, but like you said, bro, like the Squid Games, it wouldn't be the same because no like backstory unless you kill people in real life. But all
right, bro. Listen, bro. All right, yo, was season 2 necessary? Was Squid Games season 2 necessary? We always talk about, we didn't need this. Like, for example, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but this is just an example. Shogun, a really great show, an amazing show. I actually love that show. It's a remake. I haven't seen the original, but the recent Shogun on FX is incredible. I encourage you guys to watch if you haven't. Talk about acting, talk about story, talk about cinematography, talk about these Japanese actors. Like, these guys are incredible. It was designed to be, or produced to be, a limited series, but because it did so well, typical, you know how our world is. Yeah.
Typical studios.
Yo, y'all made us that much money. Yo, y'all better make a season 2. And bro, and I know you were in the text chain with me and Trizzy when he almost gave a spoiler about one of the characters, but my whole thing is they weren't like that because they probably didn't know they're gonna do a season 2. So my whole point is like, yeah, they're making a season 2 now because they're winning all these awards and they made all this money, but is it necessary? I'm interested, yes, but like now, is it going to be like a Game of Thrones type of thing? Like, is it going to be different families fighting for the show? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. So when it comes to Squid Games, I was under the same impression. I know they left a little bit of a cliffhanger, but did you still agree that there should have been another season?
I feel like this is a double-edged question because I feel like, do I think it was necessary? Necessary is like you need water necessary. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
fair.
I don't think it was necessary because of how it ended. Yeah. I feel like if it ended like that, we would have been all right. You know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't like it ended and then we'd be like, yo, what happened to this? Everything was accounted for the most part. You know what I mean? The only thing that wasn't is that the Squid Games would continue to be played, and that's understandable because that's what they continually do. So we wouldn't think it. But like, did I enjoy the fact they brought it back? Yes, because they expanded on the story, added new characters, talked about some things that, like, you know what I mean, some side stories that we kind of forgot about. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, we wouldn't have known the cop survived. We would have just thought he died.
Yeah,
I think, right? Unless
no. Yeah,
I thought he got picked up on the boat. Oh, okay, no, I thought he got picked up on the boat. In season 1, I don't remember if he did. Though.
I don't remember if he did or not.
Yeah, maybe he did, but I don't remember. But anyways, yeah. So, there's certain things that we could have it would have been fine, but was it necessary? I don't think it was necessary. But am I glad they did it? Yes, because it added to the story. I think that they could have left it where it was and everybody would still be fine with how it ended and be content with how everything went, personally.
All right, so I think you're right. I don't think it was necessary. Like, TV for 2024, we spoke about movies and how the movie year wasn't the greatest. I think TV could follow the same note where there's a lot of misses on television. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it was like the good ones, everyone was watching the strong 3-4 shows. But outside of that, there wasn't like a lot of shows that people were like, I'm tuning into this. And so, yeah, I don't know if it was necessary. Like, it has to come back and save television type of vibe.
Yeah.
But I was happy that it came out. It came out at a great time, the holidays. Especially when you do the research and you find out that the director didn't get compensated correctly for the first season. So as a fan of filmmaking, I am thinking everybody deserves, the equal rights in their pay. I'm thinking, bro, let him crank out a couple more seasons so he can get the money he deserves.
Yeah, the bread that he deserves,
for sure. So why not? But like you said, if they didn't elevate the story, like if they didn't add the guard's perspective or even the front man's perspective a little bit more and all that. I don't know if I would have been interested. I needed some more to it. And I think that this season definitely expanded the world and added some more depth to what we love about this series, man. And, you know, Guion is a revolutionary. So whether he's able to stop the games or not is going to be interesting for season 3. So I wanted to ask you, like, what are your predictions for season 3?
I honestly don't know because, I mean, there's so many, now that we know there's going to be a season 3, there's so many different aspects that happened. Like from Guion now having to deal with like what his consequences of his actions are. Like, is he gonna, I'm assuming he's not gonna die, but maybe he does, you know what I mean, in season 3. And then it's the reins of the show are taken on by somebody else. What's gonna happen to the transgender character, because she was, she actually was a part of the you know what I mean, the coup.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I mean, you're a part of it. Like, you have to be punished for being a part of it, you know what I mean? And so was the other man, the military man that was there as well. Have to be punished for that because you can't allow that kind of activity. How is the front man? Like, how are we going to deal with the front man? Like, how is the front man going to be exposed? Like, is the military man, them and all those guys, are they ever going to make it to the island? Because it seems like the captain obviously is moving shiesty. Like, there's so many different aspects that like we could talk about, but I really don't know. Like, I don't know if it's going to be in the next season, how many episodes, like, because it seems like the military man them can't make it to the island yet, because if they make it to the island, everything's done off. So I think it'll be interesting still. So we'll see.
There's a lot of directions. I think
a lot of directions.
Like, I don't know if I would enjoy this, but I was even thinking, but I don't think it's likely. But even G turning heel on some wrestling stuff and seeing him like join them and be like, F it, I can't defeat these guys. Let me join them. And I guess join them. And then the cop being the one to like save the day, like you said, how the detective finds the island eventually. I don't know. But someone on the boat, remember, was a little suspicious. Remember, he walked by the room of when his friend, because the captain killed he destroyed.
Yeah, but he wasn't suspicious. He was suspicious because he heard something, but then he told him, and then the man stabbed up the man still. So
I wonder how they're gonna figure out where the island is. But I just know they're gonna catch the captain on some BS. Like you said, I don't know.
I could tell that he was moving sus though. I could even tell that. I knew from their conversation when the man started talking to him. He's like, "Oh, he told you everything. All right, then I can tell you." I could tell from that. I was like, "Okay, this is sus. This is OD sus."
That was weird when he did speak like that. That was a great catch. Speaking of stuff that you caught on, did you realize that they had the indications or predictions for some of the games written on the walls and drawn on the walls of the bunk beds in the living area?
The what?
They had the predictions of the games, or like they're basically prophesizing the games that are being played because they were on the diagrams visually on the back, like where the walls were where they slept. Mm-hmm. They had actual symbolisms of the games about to be played. So I know for season 3, there's going to be Monkey Bars game because there was like stick figure bars. So
okay.
A cool little Easter egg that if you actually rewatch season 1, you'll see it. Like, you'll see it that all the games that they played in season 1 were on the wall. Like, it was by design. Man, we're here, end of the episode. Before we get into the heat check, really quickly, you spoke about it. How many episodes we don't know will be in season 3? I wanted to ask you as just a feeler question, like, bro, what are your thoughts on binge culture versus having episodes released weekly? Like, do you think that you enjoy Squid Games as
you give me everything now?
You don't want it to
be once they gave me, it's like, bro, you can't show me some. What KG say on Uncut Gems? Why you show me some? I can't have it. It's just like, bro, like now that I know, like there's such things as binging shows and binge-worthy shows and binging whatever, binge. Like, fam, you're not gonna take me back to weekly releases because then it's gonna just choose me. Like, I was fine with weekly releases before because that's what I was used to. But now that we're on like a binge wave, I don't feel like we can kind of go back because then people would just watch shows that have come up like years ago.
Facts.
Like, you know what I mean? And watch the entire season. So they don't have to wait for it to come out, everything. So, and I think that's why, like, maybe for me, that's why I like watching movies instead of series. And then I wait for a long time before I watch a series because then I know the series is over. Like a Game of Thrones, you know what I mean? Like a Breaking Bad, you know what I mean?
So
like those kind of shows.
Pace.
So I can watch it at my pace and not like, yo, if something happens this week, like, yo, what happens next week? But then I can't really see it. So then I'm just cheese. So That's what I would say. Yo, just give me the binge still because once you start showing me that you can do that and we can have that and the whole show's already ready, like why am I waiting weekly releases on top of the fact that it's not like I guess you can make more money, I guess, but there's no benefit. You know what I mean? There's benefit if I watch all of it.
Yeah.
And get it out because everybody wants to watch it. You know what I mean?
That's a great, I actually agree with you. I think the only difference, like for example, when X-Men 97 came out,
they were releasing it weekly.
It was weekly releases on Disney Plus. It cheesed me, but then it built so much anticipation. And again, that did piss me off, but then it really had, like, I felt like a kid every time Wednesday came around. I'm like, oh, damn, there's a new episode of X-Men 97. I have to practice on watch. Like, it made me really get excited. You get that same way for these bingeable shows, but like when I know it's there, it's not the same excitement. I'm like, I actually was like, yo, 7 o'clock, yep, I'm about to watch it. It gets me so invested that if it's a poor episode, I'm like, damn, damn, I gotta wait a whole week. But it kind of reinvigorates that feeling of just being a young watcher of things, and you're just like, man, a fan. You really gotta stay tuned, and then it gives you those 6, 5, 7 days to like, you know, talk to you about it. Talk to Trizzy, talk to the man and be like, bro, I know y'all saw that episode. Like, yo, and we have a couple of days of discussion. But like you said, I love the binge culture as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how, you know, the state of streaming TVs and all that kind of happens in the future. But here we are. Heat check, bro. Got some questions for you. Are you ready? Scenedms.
Ready.
I gotta be tough, bro, because last time bro was not forgiven for Christmas. Can you name?
Oh shit!
Season 2 just came out. Can you name the games that were played in season 2? All the games.
Well, we have Mango.
There's 6 games. Yep.
We have Red Light, Green Light. Okay, 6 games in season 2.
Yep.
Oh, because you're counting those stupid games as each one.
I am.
We have Mango, we have Red Light, Green Light, and we have Spin Top, I think.
Yeah, Spin Top, yes.
3 more. It's not Hacky Sack. What the hell they call it again? I'm going to say Hacky Sack still. I'm not going to get it.
I think it's Jeggy.
Jeggy, that's what it is.
Then there's Ganji, and then there's
Ganja, and
then there's the Flying Stone.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I wasn't gonna get those still, so that's a 0 on that one still.
Or for one. All right. What was the task that the old man challenged and asked G at the end of the season 1 when he was on his deathbed, and they had that?
Oh, there was a nigga getting beat up outside, right? Is that it?
No, he wasn't getting beat up.
Oh, wait.
But he did propose.
No. Somebody got beat up, and he was gonna see if he was gonna take his like wallet or rob him or something. I fell asleep or something like that. Yeah, he was gonna see if the man was gonna rob him or do something, or I forget what it was, but yeah, something like that, right?
Okay, yeah, I know that. Okay.
Yeah, what was it exactly?
It was like the homeless man needed help, and then they were trying to see if someone would actually drive by help. Yeah. And then the old man actually died, like G won. And then when he looked over, like, yo, like, you're wrong. The old man was dead. So it's like, the old man died basically thinking
he just,
humanity was trash.
He saw he lost and he put his head down. Peeked open his eyes.
All right, that's 1 for 2. Do you know what the final, when the recruiter was playing rock, paper, scissors with the boss and the
he had
the final. Yeah.
The boss had rock and scissors. No, paper and scissors. And he took back the paper because the man had rock. So and then he killed him with scissors. Yeah,
you knew that was
the man with double rock.
He said, "Why would you go double rock?"
I was like, "Oh God, whatever." But yeah.
All right, bless. What's that? 2 for 3?
Yeah.
2 for a tree. Oh my God. 2 for a tree. In season 1, Daehong, the bully, got into a dispute with one of the contestants. And that's what started the riot, as we know, which is what indicated technically that, if you kill somebody in here, we can get some more money. Do you know what the dispute was about?
Food.
Yes, but more specifically, do you know what the food was? Good stuff on his flank.
Was it the eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey.
Come on, I'm locked in, baby.
My boy said he don't watch TV. I don't believe it.
I'm locked in, brother.
All right, 3 for 4. This is the final question. Do you know all of the games that were played in the first season? Can you name
Dangon? I don't know the tug of war. Obviously, red light, green light. I don't know what the glass one is. I don't know what it's called. I don't know the name of that one.
Yeah, but you got that glass.
Oh, are you saying like what games? Like the names, or like what games they played?
No, it's the games they played. You don't have to know the names.
They went to dinner, and that was like kind of one a game in a sense. And the last one was that like he had to get past him. Like it was like a bully ball thing. You had to like push him. Yeah, Squid Game doing. So.
Did you get all of them? Let me just double check.
I said red light, green light. I said that.
Oh, you're missing one. Unless what you're saying is what I'm thinking.
The honeycomb one.
No. You're missing one.
What's that again?
A crucial one. There's one right before Squid Game.
How? Yeah.
The marbles, fam. The marbles.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
That was a crucial one. Yeah, 3 for 5 still, 3 for 5. And that was a crucial game because before that, I think that everybody was picking partners because like, for strength, right?
Yeah.
Like if we were in it, like, obviously I'm going to pick Merv, that's my dog.
Yeah.
And they're like, but you guys are playing against each other for this game. I was like, oh, shit.
It's just like Beast Games too. It man's be moving like that too. So I already know if I ever go on a game show, I'm never picking my dogs.
The roles, bro.
Yeah, I'm not picking the dogs.
All right, man. But that was a great episode. Squid Games, issue 53, the one with the Squid Games. I'm excited for season 3. I had a great time having a recap and rewatching season 1. I also had an amazing time watching season 2 because I thought that it took it to a next level. Like
season 2 is tough.
I might rate it better than the first one just because I liked how they spent so much time outside of the games and just like the different characters and just, I don't know, bro. I just think that him being a man on a mission had nothing to lose. Like you talked about the Russian roulette scene.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, fam, the guy was playing like, he was like, I don't care if I lose, bro. He's like, let's play this game. And that confidence is what, you know what I'm saying, bro? That Drago confidence in Rocky when he's like, if he dies, he dies. Like when you have that confidence sometimes where you're like, yo, if I lose, I lose. And sometimes you play crazy. Like you play.
If he dies, he dies.
In your favor. For sure. But yo, let me put you on segment really quickly before we end this show. What is your recommendations if you have a specific episode or a season to recommend for them?
Well, I'd recommend season 1.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll also recommend you watch Squid Games The Challenge. And then you can let us know like the difference in between like the show and like the game show because like our comment about what the difference is, I would love to see if you feel the same way, feel differently, would be a part of it. You know what I mean? Like what do you? I would never be personally a part of Squid Games. Me personally, even if I knew the games, I'm not gonna be a part because sometimes it's about luck too. So, I wouldn't be a part of it personally, but that's just my comment.
Facts.
What about you?
I think I'll recommend season 2, episode 7. You mentioned it already when you gave a breakdown, but I think that cliffhanger is one of the best episodes. The friend versus foe, or I think it's titled Friend or Foe.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the climax that we needed right there. I know Trizzy was upset. He texted me. He was like, "What the hell is this?" He's like, "I'm mad as hell." But I'm like, "Bro, that's a good ending, bro. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to make you feel this way.
It's supposed to piss you off, yeah.
It's supposed to piss you off. It wasn't good. It was you feel satisfied, but you're not satisfied. You want more, right? And then for the second thing I'll recommend, I think the second episode I'll recommend is probably The Man with the Umbrella, and that was season 1, episode 3. I had to get people to, because that was like the legendary, the honeycomb one, and it was kind of like everyone followed him as a leader because it was like they saw what he was doing, how he was paws licking the comb, and able to soften the cookie so he could whatever. But it was just funny when he got the hardest shape too. When he got the umbrella and it was like, oh yeah, I'm cooked. Like, it's over for me, bro.
It's over for running.
Yeah. But man, great episode. I had a great time.
Great episode, man. Loved it.
Squid Games.
Love Squid Games. Definitely. I'm not gonna play that stupid game to try to get onto Squid Games because I'm not even on that. So, but give me a next game. I'll play.
Oh, you know what we didn't mention too?
What?
Remember Kurt Russell escaped from New York or LA?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that still, but we're still working on that project, so because we're gonna need some contestants for our own little game show we have.
That's impossible. You missed your done.
Oh yeah, but we're not gonna kill him.
Oh, we're not.
No, this nigga said, "Oh, we're not."
NDAs.
Nah, we're gonna hurt. We're gonna hurt them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe a little pew pew with a paintball gun. That's it.
Whatever, bro. What did bro from Atlanta say?
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm not the only person in this world with hands. You know what I mean? So I don't know what happens to the contestants when they lose.
That's what I'm saying. Say, hey, I'm not angry. I'm just not the only man in here that has hands. It's best you guys probably leave right now. That was so stupid, man.
Yeah,
but
man, we're gonna have a great episode next week. We've got Bethesda coming, season 4. Love talking movies and TV shows with my bro Merv. Same place, same time next week. See ya.